Cheers, I do, Bruce. And how the heck are you, Sláinte? Just when I did the last video, I just remembered after I finished it, my wife said to make sure I'm awake before you start the next one because I startled her when I started it. So I have to. No, I'm pretty sure she's awake. Anyways, I digress. Hey, happy Thanksgiving, all. As we reach the end of it now, it's been a kind of a nice one for my wife and I, even though it was just us today. Just kind of relax, not have to do it. We did a nice meal, but not necessarily a fancy one, and nobody had to kill themselves, anyways, or other relatives. Green Goliath triple IPA for Springfield Brewing Company. This one is at 10%. It is big, but I don't know that it merits the triple moniker, but nevertheless, I forgot I had this one. It kind of got buried in the fridge. It was packaged on 9/18 of 23, so we're not quite 90 days out, but still in all, thought I'd go ahead and get to it. Some get concerned about IPAs lasting a specific period of time, and quite frankly, this really depends on how it's brewed. But typically, you're not worried about anything at 10%, but it is going to change after a certain point. Some use the word degrade. I like to use the word evolve. Because even though it does change, some of those hot flavors may drop off. In a lot of cases, the beer gets better. I don't know that this has changed much by the nose that I'm getting right now. That's just incredible. So I thought I'd share my last one with you. Oh, man. The legacy continues. This triple West Coast style IPA is a beast. More hops, more malt, more legendary. Yeah, it is good. It's a great big double at 10%. I enjoy it every year it comes out. It is big, it's bold, it's in your face. It's one best not had with a meal because it is rather overpowering. It is going to tax your palate a bit. It's going to make it work, yeah. But back when it came out, yeah, it was one of those just kind of hang out and drink at the end of an evening, and then now as I got you in front of the fake fireplace, the little fake snowy cabin. No, I'm not really in this cabin. Just trying to set a holiday mood. Our house isn't decorated. It probably won't be because my wife and I really don't do that anymore. We're kind of past that. I don't want to give you an idea. Our St. Patrick's Day, St. Patrick's decorations are still up, and they're going to remain there. The only thing that's going to change is come next St. Patrick's Day, we'll put a few more things up, and then they'll stay around. I think that's the only holiday we put stuff up for, to be honest with you. So I use the television backdrop to give you a faux give you an idea. Yeah, we're festive. I got the shirt on and everything. Yeah, I did pick up some. I haven't bought any new clothes in quite some time, so I did. I ordered some festive holiday shirts because I had a coupon mostly. If I didn't get a deal, I would have bought them. But I figured what the hell, I wanted to try a service once to see how it would work. Oh, man, that beer's delicious. We've been watching some movies today, but we've also been watching some old shows. We watched, I found on YouTube a couple Dean Martin Christmas specials, one from '68 that had Bob Newhart, Dom DeLuise, and then one from '69 that had Frank Sinatra and family. That was a lot of fun. Kind of going back. I've said this before, but I wish, you saw these trends on television, things coming back. I would love to see the variety show come back. And I'm not talking about an America's Got Talent type of variety. I'm talking about a classic variety show. Smothers Brothers, Sonny and Cher, that kind of thing. Dean Martin. Got stars that are kind of past their prime, or maybe not on the charts quite as much as they were anymore. But they were good, fun shows, especially with again, shows like America's Got Talent. You see a lot of these acts that aren't necessarily $1 million acts, but they're not bad either, right? They're that the acts you want on these variety shows for 2 to 5 minutes. And anyways, I would just love to see the classic variety show come back. Who would you get to star in them? I don't know. Who's kind of a pseudo celebrity these days? Somebody kind of past their prime. I remember back in the 70s, you had the Captain and Tennille. I think my favorite was probably Sonny and Cher, but it's probably mostly because I had a crush on Cher. As I got older, I rewatched some of the old Smothers Brothers, and I found them funny. But when they originally aired, I was really too young to get the humor that the Smothers Brothers were doing at the time. They were hilarious, though. They sprinkle a little politics in there. Of the time, and I think a show like that would be great for today. I know you can get any of these singers that are on The Masked Singer, right? Folks that are past their prime, trying to get one last hurrah, and yeah, find somebody with a little bit of charisma. It could work. You never know. So these crappy ass reality shows that are stinking up the airwaves. I don't know how people can watch this shit. I really don't. Because it's supposed to be unscripted, but we all know they're scripted, right? They're taking several takes to get to the right fight scene. The shit's all made up, but people are watching this like it's the real thing happening in real time, and it is not. Back to the beer. Back to the beer. Back to the beer. Back to the beer is gorgeous. Yeah, I didn't figure to lose anything after about 2.5 months, but I figured to go ahead and drink the last one. It kind of got buried in my fridge there. Finally made its way back to the front. I better get it out of there. I was looking for something else the other day, and I found it buried in the bottom. So what the hell? Let's drink this one today. It's more stout weather. Was thinking more barrel aged stuff. I've been doing other things. Let's trot this baby out. My one last, spring beer or late fall beer. I guess it came out in the fall, but I'm kind of wondering. Yeah, for me, I think this beer really ought to come out in the spring, but they always wait till about fall to trot it out. Yeah, it is delicious, though. It really is. West Coast, yeah, it is. I mean, there's some interpretation there, but yeah, you get those notes, right? You get those citrus notes, those tropical fruit notes. You get those little bit of piney notes. Yeah, it's nice, deep golden color as you see. I've been drinking a lot of IPAs lately. As the weather gets colder, I start shifting my focus beer wise. And then again, I haven't been drinking as much beer as I have in the past. So wanted to get this last one out of there. Make room for some other stuff. I'm trying to use my my retail skills in FIFO. First in, first out. I got a lot of stuff that just gotta go. Oh, excuse me. I did a holiday show on a friend's podcast, the Lager Room guys, and I made a decision not to buy beer for the show because I had so much stuff. So I ended up trotting out 3 vintage beers, one from 2018 and 2 from 2019. So, man, I got to get rid of this stuff. Uh, there is a little bit of sweetness here. I mentioned some tropical fruit notes and citrus, but for me, I'm picking up some melon notes as well. Little honeydew maybe. Yeah, it is sweet. At least for me, I am kind of sensitive to sweet notes, so I might be picking it up where somebody else might not. But it is a little bit sweet in there. Mercy, Percy. So I did bring a whiskey, but I didn't want to do like you've seen me do, kind of go back and forth with this beer. It just wouldn't work. And I didn't know how long it was going to take me to drink it. I did decide to pour me a little bit of this one. Restless Spirits out of North Kansas City, Missouri. Gullytown American Single Malt Whiskey. I believe this one's at 96 proof. It's either 92 or 96. I cannot read that little tiny writing in there. I cannot read it, man. They had 2 versions of an American Single Malt, so I bought them both. I only opened one bottle. I probably will open the other one as I get close to the end so I can do a side by side with them. But I didn't want to open the other one too early. Irish immigrants of the 1800s arrived in America bringing with them a work hard, play a hard approach to life and deep rooted passion for the land they left behind. Their love of malt based whiskeys remained in their hearts and continued to be a piece of the play hard part of their days. This American malt whiskey is made using the mashing, fermenting, and distilling techniques of their homeland. Aged on used bourbon oak, this very special whiskey is all American but rooted in Irish traditions. Yeah, this one does drink. This one drinks a lot like an Irish single malt, and you can even tell by the color. It does. It drinks an awful lot like an Irish single malt. I believe it's a 5-year-old whiskey. So relatively young single malt. I would love to see what this grows into because it's an absolute brilliantly done whiskey. But even the aromas remind me of some Irish single malts that I've had. You pick up those honey and heather like notes that you do in an Irish single malt. A lot of vanilla on the nose, very light spice. The brown sugar or caramel like notes are very light as well. You might feel some very light fruit notes. I get a hint of apple, maybe some raisin as well, but more of a golden raisin. You may pick out some plum, but for me, it's more of a very underripe plum note. Whereas in most whiskeys, if I get the plum note, it's a very dark, overripe plum. Oh man, as I say, I got my holiday glass out to be festive with you. Trying to be festive, man. Trying to get in the spirit. Man, that's delicious. Yeah, I will probably open that other one as we get closer to Christmas, because I do want to do one side by side because they were put together slightly different. I was hoping to get another bottle of this, but the last time we were in the Kansas City area, the store didn't have it, and I wasn't near the distillery to pick it up. But I have really been loving the single malt craze, the various American versions of American single malt that I've been able to pick up. The latest one I tried was Yellowstone from Limestone Branch. And then, of course, I've had the rest of the spirits here. Then the Union Horse out of Lenexa, Kansas, that's still in that Kansas City area. The Rivalist is just insanely good. Got one from Switchgrass that I haven't popped yet. Last time we were up in Kansas City, they had some Switchgrass products, but they only had the bourbon and rye. It didn't have the American single malt. So that's been my mission to buy. Dave, if I see somebody with an American single malt, because I love the interpretations. So far, every one I've had has been very different. Whereas you can drink various Irish single malts and find some similarities or see where they were going with it. Same with Scotch as well. But the American single malts seem to be all over the place. The Gully Town, this particular one anyway, like I said, drinks very much like an Irish whiskey. The Rivalist, I'm not even sure where to start describing it. It is a different animal completely. And then the Yellowstone that I had, I mean, none of these are even close to each other. And I couldn't even tell you which one I like more because they're all absolutely wonderful in completely different ways. It's hard to believe that they're under that same, that same banner of the same style because they are so vastly different. But I love the chewiness of that 100% malted barley, right? So much like an Irish whiskey, you get that little bit of sweetness in there. Here it's a very light, though. It's almost like a very, very light brown sugar. Light as in, color, a light molasses, let's say. And again, I feel like that honey note, almost like you get a little bit of a raw sugar note right in the finish as well. Yeah, I'm still going to say you might get a hint of apple. You might feel some golden raisin. You might even feel some light plum notes as well. Again, that's really up to you. Like I say ad nauseum at this point. You're only going to taste what you know. So happy Thanksgiving. I hope everybody's doing well out there. My wife and I, just the two of us, we kind of took it easy. Made a light meal. I had some very nice boneless pork loin chops in the freezer, so I took them out Tuesday to defrost. Put a seasoning on them. Just did a hard sear in cast iron. Finished them in the oven with the compound butter, and then once I got them and let them rest before I cut them, after when that pan was still hot, I put the rest of my compound butter in that pan so it would melt. You give me that brown butter, and then I kind of did that little steakhouse trick, right? So as I sliced that, and then I drizzled that brown butter back over there to infuse some flavor into the meat. Get a homemade gravy that was nice. Some mashed potatoes. I was going to do a green vegetable, but I didn't get around to it. I had it ready to go, and I was going to do some zucchini, so we had some fresh zucchini, but it seemed like we had enough food for two people, so I did fix it. My wife usually makes 100 different salads, but we just did the one, just did the 5 cup. That's one that, kind of that perennial one that I always had to have as a kid. So you get that little bit of spiciness in the finish here. And it seems light at first, but I've noticed as I've been drinking on this whiskey that it does accumulate. So that spice is a little tricky. Using that, those used bourbon casks, you expect it to be a little lighter. But boy, this one really is packed with flavor. I do like Restless Spirits. So they're not only good for their whiskey, though. Their vodka and their gin are top notch as well. Everything they do is just absolutely amazing. I wish I had the ability to go up to their distillery tomorrow because they're running some Black Friday deals, but I've got to be at work Saturday. I'm off tomorrow, but I have to be at work. So if I had Saturday off, I would go up there because they got some serious specials I would really like to buy. They're unveiling this rum cask finish Irish whiskey. I believe it's a 10-year-old. Man, I really would like to go get that, but it's a long drive up there and a long drive back. If I only would have asked for Saturday, things went a little bit different than I figured. I ended up having to work Saturday and Sunday. Um, and the things that most places were doing last year on Friday, they're not doing. So, because I was, planning on certain places doing the exact same thing they did last year, and they didn't. So I kind of got messed up, and then I didn't ask for the Saturday and Sunday. So, well, hell, what are you gonna do? But yeah, there's another distillery on the other side of the state, though, too. Pinckney Bend is doing some great specials. Oh man, if I only would have took that, you know. I guess about 3 hours that way. Kansas City is about 3 hours the other way. But yeah, I would really love to get up to Restless Spirits. If I had any ability at all, I would. Because to be able to buy that rum cask finish Irish, oh man. But that'd take a lot of time and a lot of money. So I'm trying to use better judgment, but I really want to go. I really, really. I want to make myself stay local, take advantage of what's in the neighborhood. But yeah, when I saw yesterday, they had posted about that Rubcast Finish Irish, and oh my goodness, you guys are killing me. So I really want some. And they've only got a limited number of bottles, so if you're not there for Black Friday for it, you're not going to get it. And part of the issue is I think it's set from 2 to 7. So I mean, it's not like I get early, grab it, and come home. The earliest I can get it is 2. Oh man, this whiskey is absolutely delicious. Yeah, if you've never been to Restless Spirits, I got to be honest with you, I cannot recommend them highly enough. I was only at the distillery once, but everybody there was friendly and helpful. I had one cocktail there that was done impeccably well, but when I asked about products, other things, they didn't seem to mind answering questions, so I didn't mind buying. So they were nice and friendly. I could not recommend the place highly enough. So if you're ever passing through Kansas City, please hit Restless Spirits and buy their products. The stuff is incredible. So there you go. I am Tom the Whiskey Whisperer, Whiskey Evangelist, prolific whiskey drinker, purveyor of wisdom, and all around good guy. Let me show you that bottle one more time. Launch you.